People maybe don't know this, but like we have been playing for maybe 20 years in Finland, all the clubs that you can think of, all the festivals you can think of. So we are very well known there, especially our big brother. He used to play in a band called Don Huonot, which was like a triple platinum selling band back in 98 and 97. So for us it's a challenge in a way that, you know, you have a blank sheet, you have like a tabula rasa, and you are on the stage in front of all these new people. They don't know anything about you, and you only have your music and your energy that you can kind of give the, you know, they don't have any kind of, you know, expectation or anything like that. So it's a challenge, but at the same time it's, of course, it's a beautiful possibility for us, because we feel that, you know, we have been doing this for so many years. You know, eventually we are able to be somewhere, and we can share these things with this thing also with other people and other cultures, and that feels really good. And Roskilde, I mean, you know, you can only dream about Roskilde usually, and now it's like, I remember being a teenager and thinking that, you know, one day we'll be in Roskilde playing. Officially you can't really say that, but it's true. I mean, Jonne was here in, when were you?
96.
96, and my big brother was here for the first time in 87, checking out bands. So you can imagine that, you know, being here in 2008 feels really great with your own music to perform to the, you know, the best festival in Scandinavia. Jonne, what are you going to do about your bass sound tonight? Because we are playing tonight with totally rented equipment. We don't have our own stuff.
I'm going to put all the switches to 11, like Spinal Tap, and that's the way.
I think that's the only way to manage in this world.
Yeah.
Jonne and me, we're two brothers, and the third one is somewhere there preparing for the show. And we are from the same family, so from early childhood we used to play different instruments at home, and our father used to always tell us not to do any sports but play rock and roll. So it was pretty obvious that something would happen sooner or later. And then eventually what happened was that we started playing the right instruments to actually form a trio, and then it was year 2000 that we actually decided to make our first brothers album. And on that album the three of us played all the instruments. And now it's 2008, and the band is bigger, and, you know, also not only the the public is bigger, but also the size of the band is bigger. We have three brothers there in the front row, and then we have a drummer and a keyboardist, and we are from Finland, and things are good in Finland, and we are actually just starting to kind of become known abroad. So we are really happy to be here to play in Roskilde. Both Kia is the name of our big brother, and me, we used to play basketball, and it was good for ourselves, because we met a lot of, you know, good friends there. But actually what happened, I remember so clearly that our father never came to see one basketball game, but every single gig or any performance we had, like, you know, musical thing, or he always was there. And if there was, you know, if there like was an inspiration that, you know, at some point I wanted to play drums, it took him like 2 days to get me a drum kit, you know. And so he was always really like encouraging to start playing and continue playing and all that. So I think it's because he used to play in a rock band in the early 60s called the Savages, you know, which was pretty much kind of like, how do you call it? It's kind of instrumental rock, you know, like if you remember the Shadows, that kind of music. And then my father and my mother, they actually met in a choir, so they used to sing in the same choir, and then my father, you know, fell in love with my mother and so forth. So it's all there, you know. It's in the kind of it was always in the house at our home. He always brought some, you know, albums, and we listened to them, and, you know, we had all the Beatles albums, we have all the Queen albums, all the Led Zeppelin albums from early age. So that made a big, of course, impact. And before we knew how to play guitars, we used to you know, he used to. We have actually photos on our website where he has built on our summer cottage in Finland. He has built from some just waste wood. He has built some instruments for us to play. You know, and he was 2 years old in one of the pictures, and he's already doing the bass, you know. So, you know, he was always like doing these things so that we would kind of go to this direction. And happy to say, you know, now we are here and we are happy and we are doing, you know, great. We feel that there's some, you know, fulfillment in doing things together with the brothers. So,
being brothers in the same band, I've got a big brother too. So.
You know how it is.
Competition and fights and
yeah.
How do we get along, you three?
You see, the competition part is not there anymore. The reason being that we have kind of all been successful in our other bands before we actually joined together. Like Jonne's band won the. We have this kind of stupid thing in Finland. I don't know if it's anymore there, but it's like a rock music band championship. You know, every year you kind of, you know. You kind of take part in a contest, and then one band wins the championship of rock bands. And he won with his rock band in '98.
Yeah.
And I used to play in 2 bands which were quite successful, and then Kia had his success. So kind of the, you know, the competition is not there. There's nobody that wants to really, you know, get all the attention or anything like that. We are just happy that, you know, that we are able to do this together. Because we feel that we have all been in other bands, and now when we are playing together, we know somewhere, you know, deep within that there's some special energy there. There's like a dimension that you don't get when you're playing with just, you know, random guys. You know, we are the same blood, and we have the same ambition, we have the same energy in us, the same temperament and characteristics in us. So when you multiply that with 3, and you go and you have that on stage, you know, if everything goes well, it's for us, it's a very joyful experience. And that experience also is transmitted then to the audience. And that's why I think, you know, that's one of the reasons that why, you know, we are having success also in our good old Finland.